MSPN's coverage of Marvel Fubica's America's Cup continues with round 2 of Collision Soccer in our group stages. I'm Rick O'Shea, glad to have you here. We saw 8 countries face off in our first matchup, so if you haven't watched that, go ahead and give that a click and a view, and then head back over here for the second half of this Collision Soccer, which again we saw in the qualifier rounds, which gave us our final team in the 16-team field for the America's Cup. And then we saw some matchups, a tie, and then 3 of the 4 matchups did end with a winner. But we did see a tie between, there they are, the United States and Brazil out of Group C. Ecuador over Trinidad and Tobago in Group D. As you see up the updated standings there, Mexico and Peru from Group A. Uruguay and Argentina from Group B. Group C has Brazil and the US in the lead. And then in Group D, it is Ecuador and Trinidad and Tobago currently in the lead. As you see on the bottom of the screen, we have our final 4 matchups from this round here in the group stages. And they are represented on the screen right now. And we should have some more fun here. An opportunity there with Paraguay and Mexico to get underway in this Collision Soccer. What was a very action-packed first half of this group stage in the collisions. On the left side of your screen, we hope for some more of that. As you see on the left side of the screen is Paraguay in the blue, Mexico on the right side in the green and black, and they are off, and it's a lot of goals. Oh, they just knocked each other in. Here comes Mexico. Not going to get it. Almost a tie-breaking goal, but a lot of spin on that one, and Mexico couldn't get it to harness that spin into the goal. And so it'll be a 2-2 tie after 1. As this is a very replay-oriented sport where you have to have a look on those slow-mo replays and see what exactly you just saw. A lot of collisions with each other. There are the 2 goals for Paraguay, and there are the 2 goals for Mexico, coming from their last 2 marbles that came uncontested there. And those last 2, one for Paraguay, one for Mexico, didn't quite fully cross the goal line there, cross that threshold to reward them with a point. And so it is 2-2 as they will switch sides and have Mexico from the left, Paraguay from the right. And they are off, and more goal scoring. You saw 2 more for Paraguay that came off by themselves on that left side, and Mexico cannot score that extra goal at the end. It wouldn't have mattered anyway. Paraguay picks up 3 goals, winning this round 3-1 and getting the overall victory 5-3. That is the most goals, if I'm not mistaken, that we have seen in Collision Soccer so far here in this group stage of the America's Cup. There's 1. And right here, once again, very effective tactic for Paraguay. 4 of their 5 goals came from 2 marbles at the end of their runs moving forward. And Paraguay jumps ahead of Peru to take the lead in Group A. Peru stays in the transfer spot, and Mexico drops out of the transfer spot and into 3rd place. As we get our next matchup, it is Uruguay against Colombia. Uruguay in the light blue, almost oceanic look, and yellow with red stripes is Colombia. Teams, we have 6 more teams now, including the 2 that we're about to see. You have 6 teams that haven't yet gone, and you just saw a very effective tactic from Paraguay to trail 2 of those extra marbles at the back and see if you can get them to score without any hesitation, any resistance from the opponents. Let's see. As it looks like everybody's pretty tight with each other, and it'll have to be goals after collisions. We do get a goal after a collision from both sides. Uruguay with 1, Colombia with 1. And it is tied up as we go to the what will end up being a winner-take-all round, the second round of this matchup. You look on the replay. Nobody able to take advantage of what I just talked about with Paraguay. And there was the goal on the right side for Uruguay, the goal on the left side for Colombia. And so this matchup will determine the winner of this group round. Uruguay's already in a transfer spot, doing very well so far, and they just knocked in Colombia, and I don't believe Uruguay knocked one in. They did not. That one hit, they collided, Colombia and Uruguay. You'll see it on the replay. Everybody looked like they were pretty clear. And then right here, look at the right side of your screen, and Uruguay knocks Colombia in and gives Colombia the win. Uruguay is still going to stay in a transfer spot, though. It gives Argentina the lead. They move into the 1 spot from Group B. Uruguay moves into the 2 spot. And we move on to Group C. It is Grenada against Barbados. Barbados had that 3-3 tie in the penalty kicks against Brazil where nobody missed. A very impressive round. Brazil followed that up with a 3-3 tie against the United States here in Collision Soccer. So we'll see what we get from Barbados as an answer to their impressive run in the penalty kicks. They did not fail to score. Obviously, you wouldn't expect 8 goals and everyone scoring every time from Barbados here, but we'll see if they are able to have a successful run just like we saw from Brazil and put themselves once again in position here in Group C. On the left side is Grenada in the green. And it is Barbados with mostly blue and a little bit of yellow on that right side. They are off and there it... Oh, no, I don't think they got it. Nope. It ends up as a 2-2 tie. Grenada so close at the very end. And look at that. You saw Grenada actually went a different way. There's 1 goal that they got in. Oh, nice job on Barbados to score that extra goal, knocking their own marbles and able to turn that into a goal. And then zooming it in, and no. Sorry, couldn't quite fully get across, as you see. Just barely unable to cross that white line on the inside of that light green line. The white line further inside the goal is where you have to fully cross. They weren't able to do it there. And so it's a 2-2 tie. They switch sides. And it is going to be a 4-2 win for Grenada. So Barbados, after a 3-3 tie in penalty kicks with Brazil, they are unable to tie or win against Grenada. As you see, Grenada's goals, there's 1, there's 2, both of them after they made contact with Barbados. Perfectly taking advantage of what the opponent is giving you. So Grenada moves into the lead. Brazil is in the 2nd spot. The U.S. would be 3. And then Barbados would be 4. As we get our final matchup here from Collision Soccer. It is Group D, Chile against Dominica. As Dominica, if memory serves, got into the America's Cup off of their qualifier, which was Collision Soccer. And so they should have a easier time in terms of the learning curve. Not necessarily going to translate into goals, we will see. But they at least know what to expect from this. Then again, Chile is one of the last 2 marbles. We've already seen 14 marbles, 14 countries go through this, so they know what they've got too. As they are off. Look at that 1 Chile marble all the way at the end. It comes through. Oh, but it made contact with Dominica, and Chile's going to score, but they're going to rule that offsides. We'll look at the replay and see if that is a good ruling or not. Chile, I don't know if that was intentional or not, but they did have a marble all the way at the end. There is 1. And yeah, that was an offside ruling. And a good one. So it rolled in for Chile, but it's unable to extend their lead. They do, however, take a 2-1 lead. And a good job of defense there by Dominica. You saw Chile have that 1 marble stay low and wait it out and then come down much later than everybody else, and Dominica wasn't having it. Able to stop them. Goal, 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 and nothing at the very end. So Chile picks up 2, and Dominica will pick up 1 more, but that is not enough. Chile gets the win by a final of 4-2. We look at the replay, and the 3 goals, blink and you'll miss them. They came very, very tight with each other. There's 1, 2, and 3. Both of the Chile goals went off to the left side. Dominica got it off to the right. As you see the scores, it was Paraguay over Mexico, Colombia over Uruguay, Grenada over Barbados, and Chile over Dominica here in the 2nd round of the group stage. It moves Ecuador and Trinidad and Tobago still both in the lead. In Group D, Grenada and Brazil in Group C, Argentina and Uruguay in Group B, and Peru and Paraguay in grouping number A, or grouping letter A, I guess I should say, as they are in the transfer spots, but everybody is still in play as we are through 2 rounds of our group stages. We have seen penalty kicks, and we have seen now collision soccer. We have some marbles that are doing better than others, some that still have some room and some play to make up, to better themselves as the America's Cup continues. But until then, I am Rick O'Shea, and you have been watching MSPN's coverage of Marble Fubica's America's Cup.